Hello, everybody. This is the Cat Collective Summit for March 24. And when I asked about what questions do people have for these summits, a lot of people ask me about their cats in spirit. What happens after they cross over? What do they do? Where do they go? Are they still there for us? How do they support us? And it was just, and I worked so much with people that have just, especially last year, I worked with so many people who lost their cats, so many people who were mourning, so many people who couldn't believe how fast they went, and they couldn't understand why they left. So I just figured we just do the whole summit this time about cats in spirit. And I could really talk about days and about this topic for days and days and days on end. I do already have an entire webinar that is called Cats and Reincarnation. That's on felinesoulacademy.com. Go to the free webinars. I did that sometime last year. It's a whole webinar, I think 90 minutes, just on also cats and spirit, and specifically about cats and reincarnation. And I also talk about it in my upcoming book. So look out for my upcoming book. It's called The Cat Secret. I will talk about cats and spirit there too. And today I asked the Cat Collective specifically what to talk about today, and this is the information they gave me. So everything that I'm going to share with you today is channeled, and specifically channeled for this event today. So we're going to talk about just a little general about our cats in spirit, what happens after they cross over, or what are the messages that they want to give us about them crossing over. I asked a few questions about when, why, and how they reincarnate, whether cats come back as humans or just as cats. And after we answer these questions, we are going to do a little meditation. We will call in, you can call in your cats in spirit. If you don't have a cat in spirit, then it's, good for you. Then you can always call in your cat that you have now. But most of you that are here, I guess, probably do have cats in spirit. So we're going to call in your cat in spirit and ask for questions or ask for messages. And then we're going to do a little Q&A as always in the end. There's a lot of people on this call today. I expect more people to come on. I'm not sure I can tap into everybody's cat today. So I want to make sure that you tap into your own cat during the meditation. Yes, I can do a few intuitive readings, but I don't think I can talk to everybody's cat today. I don't think so. So I want to make sure you have the, you have the chance to talk to your own cat in the meditation. However, I will do some readings at the end in the Q&A section, as always. All right, so let's get going. For those who are new to me, who am I? I'm a cat whisperer. I'm an interspecies communicator. I'm an author. I'm an intuitive. I'm a starseed and an ascension guide. And I help cat lovers. I help people, but specifically usually cat lovers, awaken to who they truly are through their cats. So I basically reach out to their cats, and by talking to their cats, they show me what their human needs to know. So as always, I always say this up front, everything I share comes directly from the cats and from their higher selves, really. I talk to them on a soul level. I talk on all levels. I talk to cats on the other side. Really, there is no difference. Truly, you can talk to them wherever they are in this universe and whatever dimension they're in. And I do not recite from anybody else. I do not recite from any textbooks. I talk to the cats themselves. I talk specifically, I've talked to thousands of cats where I gathered a lot of knowledge and a lot of insights into the feline mind and soul. And specifically lately, I've started to channel the Cat Collective, which really is the collective consciousness of cats on this planet. They are all connected in this invisible field of consciousness, of knowledge, of wisdom, of light and love. And I channel the consciousness of cats, and they speak through me, they speak to me. Sometimes I write, it comes as automatic writing. I ask the question and it just flows out of my hands. Or sometimes it just comes through me and I speak it out loud, and sometimes I record it, sometimes not. So everything I share today is directly channeled from the Cat Collective. And I had a long conversation with them yesterday, and I'm sharing with you today what came through. So, first of all, to just set the stage here, let's talk about our cats in spirit, basically about the cats that have crossed over. And what comes through, and this is partly channel now, but this is just my experience when I work with clients. I've worked with and for so many clients whose cats crossed over, and they always want you to know that they are never really gone. They are just in a different state of being, and they're really just in a different dimension. And what happens is after the soul leaves the body, in the moment that we basically see as falling asleep, when they close their eyes, when they just, their spirit, we can just tell their spirit leaves, um it's really, for them, it's not falling asleep, it's waking up. And they show me what happens basically when they close their eyes and the silver cord is cut. The spirit or the soul, let's just call it soul, the soul leaves the body, and what we see as falling asleep is basically is waking up. They're waking up, and there's light, and there's colors, and there's love, and there's just this whole world that is colorful and that is full of love and full of light. And then they see us basically on the other side of the veil, and our world is now all gray and grayed out and behind the veil. And they're showing me basically that's the real world. That is the real reality. On the other side of what we call dying is really waking up. And then they are basically, they still interact with us. They are only, if you want to call it a different dimension, I just call it a different dimension for lack of a better word. They can still see us, they can still interact with us. It's just basically a different layer of consciousness. It's a different dimension. It's like they're still there, but they're a little bit removed from us. They can still see us, they can still talk to us, and they do telepathically, they still talk to us. But we're just separated because they're in a different dimension. And they've also showed me time and time again that for them, they are so much more knowledgeable than we are in these matters. For them, I mean, nobody wants to die. A cat is also, of course, a cat is, is in the prime of their life and everything. Nobody really wants to die. Everybody really enjoys being alive, but they do understand more so than we humans that dying is part of life. They understand the cycles of life. They understand there's a beginning and there's an end, there's a birth and there's a death. And they understand we're not gone. They understand we're going to a different level of consciousness, basically. We're going to this different dimension. They understand that dying is not existing anymore, that dying is just moving on, and it's part of life. So that is why when people call me about their cat being, transitioning or being in that last stage of life, and they ask me, I don't know what to do. Should I call the vet and take my cat to the vet and have them end my cat's life, or does my cat still want to live? The cats always tell me they understand that their time has come. They understand. I mean, they will tell me clearly if it's not time yet. If they say, I still have something to do, I don't feel that bad yet, I still want to live, they will tell me that too. Some cats will tell me it's not my time yet. I still have something to do. I still feel that my task is not done. I want to live. And when they say that, I pass it on to the humans, and then the humans are usually very relieved. Oh my God, yes, my cat still wants to live. But then other times, and what I'm talking about now is just my experience really working with cats one-on-one, with clients one-on-one. Most of the time, when the time has come, the cats know and they accept it, and they say, I'm ready to go. I've lived a full life. I was loved. I did everything I could do in this earthly life. I've had a fulfilled life, and I'm ready to go. So they are more accepting of that dying is a part of life. And they always tell me to tell the humans, don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty even after they've crossed over, and the humans, they're kind of torn and racked with guilt, saying maybe it was too early, maybe I shouldn't have let her go yet, maybe I don't know, maybe it was wrong. They are usually from the other side. They always tell me it was okay. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel torn. It is what it is. You did what you did. I was ready to go. It was okay. We made this. And they always tell me it was a mutual decision. They always tell me that their soul agreed. And because their soul agreed to leaving, to yes, going to the vet and, having done what needed to be done, basically, the soul always agreed. So whenever you decide that it's time and you think you don't want them to suffer, you don't want them to be in pain, I'm going to go to the vet and, do this, their soul usually has agreed. So they always want me to tell you, don't feel guilty. Everything happened exactly as it needed to happen. Okay. So yeah, they say whatever decision you make is always right. And they want you to know that they usually always stay around after they cross over. So I'm going to go to the chat real quick and see if there's anything important here. Okay. All right. So, what happens right after they cross over? As I said, the silver cord is cut. The soul separates from the body. The soul goes back into its actual normal, way of existing, because usually being in a soul form is more real than being in a human body. They're usually greeted by loved ones. And they are free and they are in their soul form and they are bigger. They always say they are so much bigger in their soul form. They are not confined to that small body anymore. A lot of our cat souls, they're huge. They're huge personalities. They're huge souls. And they show me that they are free now. They are not bound to this small body anymore. And they are much bigger and much more powerful on the other side. So this is not what I channeled. I asked what I'm supposed to tell people on this call, and this is what the channeling came through yesterday. They said we are helping our humans in a myriad of ways. We are, after crossing over, we are around for protection, for love, for everything that our relationship was made of before. So basically, the service doesn't end. Everything that they did for you before, everything that made your relationship what it was, it still exists. And they said at first, after crossing over, we stay around to comfort them. Our humans, are in mourning, and we make sure that they can still feel us, sitting next to them or in their lap or on their shoulders. Wherever we used to lay when we were in our physical form is when they can still feel us sometimes. And I want you to maybe, if you recently lost a cat or if ever lost a cat that was really painful, close your eyes for a moment and just feel in. Did you feel them afterwards? And I'm sure that many of you felt them afterwards, that they had moments where they felt the cat was still lying on their laps or lying on their beds or sitting on their shoulder, wherever the cat sat before. I'm pretty sure you all had these moments right after they crossed over or very, in the last, let's say 2-3 weeks after they crossed over, where you could physically almost feel them. And they do that, and they show me that. And when I talk to people whose cat just crossed over, I usually feel them. I see them. I feel them laying around your shoulder. I see them sitting next to you. So the cats confirmed that. They said, we stay around to comfort them. And they stay around very closely. They stay in a very close dimension at first. That's also my experience. I can feel them very clearly. They stay very, very close. And they do that so that you can still feel their presence because they're only a little bit removed. Remember, they're only a little higher. They're not that far over on the other side yet. They're very, very close. And they do that so you can feel them, that we can feel them. So the cats went on to say, then when the mourning gives way to a sadness but acceptance that we have moved on, the understanding sets in our human that parting is a part of life. So this is a little after for everybody. These stages, are different. For some people, this stage takes 5 days. For other people, it takes 5 weeks, right? Everybody mourns in a different way. But the cat said usually the understanding sets in that parting is just a part of life. And they said the understanding comes through that through our human, that there might be something else for them, that parting is part of our path, that there is always an end and a new beginning on this human journey, that we are never really gone, but live on in their hearts and in their memories. After this acceptance sets in, then we cats in spirit can move on to our actual tasks. since we're so much entwined with you on a soul level, we help you get to the next step of your journey and the next level of your evolution. And I can also confirm that when, as I said, when I worked with cats in spirit, I do feel them very close to the humans in the first weeks. For some people, it's 2 weeks. For some people, it's 5 weeks. And then after a while, they move to a higher dimension. I can feel them that clearly anymore. You usually can't feel them that close anymore. They move on to a higher level of existence, to a higher dimension. And I would, let me see if there's any questions. Do they talk to the housemates on this side after they pass over? If the other housemates are mourning and they can feel them and they are interested in feeling them, yes, they will. Absolutely, yes, they will. Claire says, my cat Oscar crossed over in 2009. Is he still around to this day? I feel he's in a very high dimension, but he's coming in for this call, Claire. Deb says, years ago, I had an empath cat that I could actually see, feel her jump on the bed after passing. She visited for several years on the anniversary of her death. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Deb. That what an experience. Exactly. Okay, so I just want you just for a moment, just close your eyes and just tune into your cats in spirit. And let's just take this is not the meditation yet, but I just want everybody to get into that feeling mode now, because this is a special call today. And I just don't just want to recite things. I want you to feel today. Because if you're here, it doesn't matter whether you're live or in delayed replay, you will be able to feel your cats coming in, or all the cats that are coming in now. I can feel a cat collective coming in, and maybe you feel them too. It's like literally hundreds of cat personalities, hundreds of cats coming in. Close your eyes and feel them coming in. You might feel them purring or just coming in or settling in your room if you want to feel it. It's a cat collective coming in now. And they're sending a lot of love and healing because they love their humans so, so much. They're sending so much healing. Now, to all the ones, they're saying to all the ones here who have lost a cat, this is the Cat Collective Now Channel Live. They're saying to all the beautiful souls here, to all the beautiful humans here who have lost a cat, recently or long ago, it doesn't matter. The pain is still the same. We understand there is pain when we leave you, but we have messages for you today that might or may help you ease the pain a little bit and help you ease the guilt. And we want you to just revel today in these messages. We want you to feel in and feel your cat coming in now, and just close your eyes and feel your cat sitting next to you, on your lap, on your shoulder, on your bed, next to you on the couch, wherever you are, wherever your cat used to sit, and just feel them, feel them, feel them. They're coming in and they're purring and they're rubbing themselves against you and they're saying, dear human, I'm still here. I'm not gone. I'm always, always, always around you. I'm always here for you, to help you, and you can always find comfort in me still being here. You can always still call me. You can call me in spirit. We are going to do this a little later in the call today. I just want you to feel me right now. I'm with you here right now. And just feel, feel, feel. And the cat collective is now giving the mic back to me. They just wanted to introduce themselves and introduce those of those of their members that are here today that have crossed over. Actually, my 3 cats, Lenny, Lisa, Jamie, they're always with me, but they're coming in specifically now. That will also help hold the energies for this call, and they want me to. And they're saying they're handing the mic back to me now. They just want you to feel your cat companion next to you. Okay. All right, so when you're ready, you can open your eyes again. Okay. So let's move on to the 3 questions that I had for the Cat Collective. So question number 1, the obvious one, how do the cats help us from the other side? They've already shared what they do in the first few weeks after they cross over. They help with the mourning, they help with the understanding. They stay around so we can still physically see them or feel them, I'm sorry, so we can still physically feel them. They also shared with me, and this is not in the deck, they also shared with me, feel it's important to mention that especially in those first weeks when we are in mourning, when we haven't accepted yet, or when we just slowly going to that acceptance and understanding, They sometimes come through in the cats that in our now cats, in our present cats, and our cats that are still alive. And you might have felt that too, that sometimes you're seeing your other cat lying next to you or in the corner, and all of a sudden you feel the presence of your cat that has crossed over, and you could swear that the cat that's lying there on the couch next to you is your other cat that has crossed over. You can feel the energy, you could feel the personality, you could swear you look at that cat and you could swear it's your other cat. And they actually do that. When you have that feeling, yes, they do that. Or when your cat walks through the room and you have this sudden feeling of that's my other cat, that's my cat who crossed over. It looks just like that cat that just ran across the room. When you have that feeling, it's true. They do come into our now cats. They kind of slip into those bodies. They can do that for seconds, for minutes, sometimes for days on end. And they do that so that they can be physically close to us again and that we can physically feel them again. It helps with our mourning process. It helps with our letting go process. So if you ever had that feeling, and maybe you want to put that in the chat, if you ever had that feeling that, oh my God, my cat that crossed over is with me right now. She's in my now cat. I could swear it's her. When you have that feeling, it's true. And that's what they do actually. Okay. I do. I thought it couldn't happen. Yes, it can happen. Absolutely. Yeah. I felt absolutely. Yep. I could see him run around the corner to me every time I came to the house. It was amazing. Yes, absolutely. So when you have that feeling, then that's exactly what it is. For those who use the Q&A function here, please use the chat function. There's two different functionalities, Q&A and chat. If you could please all use the chat function because it would be too much for me to jump back and forth. So please go to the chat function, not the Q&A function. Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that you get your comment in and all right. So if you have any questions, bigger questions, leave those for the end. I mean, I do check in with the chat occasionally here about, but if you have a real big question that you want answered, then it's better to leave that for the end. All right, so after this first stage of mourning and being very, very close to us, they, as they said, they're moving into a higher dimension or into higher dimensions. They get a little bit further, they move higher up. We can't feel them physically that much anymore. But we are also at that point ready to let them go a little bit more. And they say that's when the actual task starts. So my question now is, what is the actual task? How do they help us from the other side? So this is what I channeled, is what they said yesterday. I said, we help you by moving and holding the energies around you. We help clean your aura and your field by being around you and holding an energy of love and compassion. How? Because of the love we held and expressed when we were in our physical form. And this love persists and gets stronger on the other side. So they hold the energies around us, basically. They say, let's see this love is like an energetic shield that we held when we were in the physical form. But then we can hold and weave it even stronger in our spirit form. That's how we are still in service to you. So whatever energies they held around you when they were alive, they can do that better on the other side. And I hear that a lot, that they say, I'm stronger on the other side. And they say here they can hold and weave it stronger in a spirit form because they're not confined to this small cat body. They're huge. And they can hold the energies better in the spirit form. So they said that's how we're still in service to you. And they said, if you're an energy worker or a healer or someone who works with people, you, the human, then we will help and continue to hold the energies around you. We will enhance and strengthen the healing you generate or you hold in the physical, and we will help reinforce it. That's part of what we can do for the healers among you. So if you're a healer and your cat is crossed over, likelihood your cat will help you with the healing and enhance your healing powers from the other side. I think for others who are not healers, it is merely just holding the energies around you during everything you do, whether you're at work or with other people or in nature. Whatever you do will hold or clear or strengthen the energy around you. So most likely your cats will be around you on the other side, and they will hold and strengthen the energy around you. They will protect you sometimes. So that's their number one task. They hold the energies around you. the task number 2 is what I call here, or what they call breadcrumbs. They will send you breadcrumbs for your path. So they say, we can also send you people, animals, circumstances that help your cause or your path, the breadcrumbs on your life path, so to speak. We help leave the trail of breadcrumbs that lead you to your next step, your next evolution, and the next part of your journey. So I hope this is clear what that means. Sometimes people or your spirit guides, kind of, or your higher self, they give you breadcrumbs because we, in our thinking mind, we are thinking too much about where should I go, what do I do, what's my next step, what I'm supposed to do. So we're blocking ourselves thinking. And sometimes we ask our guides for help, but we can always hear our guides, right? Because we're always thinking too much and we're trying to, force things into existence. But usually what happens is that we get breadcrumbs. Our soul, our spirit guides, they send us little breadcrumbs along the way. They give us, and then one step leads to the next. And we see this, oh, okay, I'm supposed to do this. And then we do one thing, and then it leads to another thing. And that's the next breadcrumb. And it leads to another thing. It leads to another thing. And we meet people. Our cats kind of, send a certain person into our life, and we meet a certain person, and then something happens, and another circumstance happens. So these are the breadcrumbs that help us along our path. And our cats and spirits say that they are actually this powerful. They can send us people, animals, and circumstances that help us on our path. They say how? By being interwoven on a soul level. We are part of your spirit team. That's how we can help send you the right people, cats, dogs, circumstances, so you can move on to your next level of your life. It's difficult to explain, but that's how divinely interwoven everything is. And that is actually how divinely interwoven their soul path is with ours. So even on the other side, they can still send us, sometimes they send us new cats. And I'm sure there's more than one of you on this call that received guidance, or a cat crossed, or the cat passed away, and then another cat came into their life and kind of reminded them of their old cat. Then they took the cat in, and then it found out there's nothing like my old cat, but still this cat had to come into my life because, whatever. But in that case, your old cat that has crossed over sent you that new cat, right? So they do, I know for a fact, they do send cats our way, or people, cats into our path. Okay. Yes, it's okay. You're muted. Everybody's muted on this call. You can only hear me on this call, but thank you for asking. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So they send us people, animal, circumstances, and they kind of throw these little breadcrumbs so that we can be on our soul path that we're supposed to be on. And yes, they can do that on the other side. So I asked at this point, but do you do that for everyone? I mean, does every cat always stay around for every human that they've ever been with? It seems like a monumental task, right? Do you do that for everyone? And they said only for those humans who wish to hold on to us and to our service. Those humans that made soul contracts with us so that we'll stay around them. Other cats have one lifetime with the human and then they move on. We'll say that about 60, actually there was more of a 65% will move on, and around 35 to 40% of cats will stay around for their human. So it was actually surprised that I got a percentage on this, because usually my spirit guides don't give me percentages that easily, but that's kind of what I picked up. So I wanted to share that with you. So not every cat, every dog always stays around every human that they've ever been with, because that would be a huge task, right? But so let's say between 35 and 40%, those who really, really are really entwined with our cats and really are very much whose lives really revolve around cats and dogs and their pets, those will stay around. Or those will have cats that stay around them. They say those are the humans who are strongly connected to us cats throughout a major part of their life. They're very much tuned into us and we into them. These are likely the ones on this call, all of you, who know that there is a higher reason for their cats being with them, even beyond the physical. They went on to say, everyone on this call is here for a higher reason, be it live now or in delayed replay, and because the cats on the other side wish to reach out to them. So if you're here, likely you have a cat on the other side and they wish to reach out to you during this call today or through the call. Tell them we are always there for them. We are always serving them. We are always watching over them and loving them dearly. If they wish to connect to us, then they always can. And this is now kind of the third thing that they do for us. So the first thing they do for us was hold the energies around you. The second thing they do is throw us the breadcrumbs for our soul path and send us new cats and new people or new dogs into our lives or new horses. And the third thing is they help us hone, or they can help us hone our clear senses or our intuition, in other words. So this is basically something they can do for us and for everyone in this call. They say learn to use your clear senses. It's most likely part of your path to tune into your clear senses, which means your intuition, your clairaudience, your clairvoyance, your clairsentience, right? That is one of the things you can learn through us, or it's part of why you're still around, why we are still around you, because we are helping you tune in and learn to use all of your clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, or let's say your intuition. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear what they mean. Basically, they can help you become more intuitive, uh, become, hone into your go into meditation, call them. Basically, that's what they want from you. If you do any form of prayer or meditation, I hope you do. If not, then I strongly recommend finding some kind of daily or almost daily routine of meditation. And if it's only 10 minutes per day, that's fine. But go within, find that still space within you. Go in meditation, call your spirit guides, call your higher self, ask questions, ask your questions that you have for yourself, for your path, for your purpose. And while you do that, you can also call your spirit cats and ask them to come in and ask them if they have messages for you. What are you supposed to do? What's their messages for you? You can do that every day. You can do it, I don't know, once a month, however often you wish to talk to them. My three spirit cats, Lenny, Lisa, Jamie, here, 1, 2, 3, I call them in every day, at least twice. I call them in the morning when I do my little morning meditation. I call them every time I do some kind of work. Before this call here, I go into a little, 3-minute meditation before these calls, just to tune in, to feel in. And I always call my three spirit cats to help hold the energies, right, around me and for this call. And so can you. Oh, and I do it when I go to bed in the evening. I always kind of tune in. And I call my three spirit cats and I ask them, is there anything I need to know? So, and your spirit cats say this is something that they can help you do, because it might be easier for you to tune into them than to tune into for some people who are maybe have a hard time with meditating or calling the spirit guides. I talk to a lot of people who have a hard time tuning into the spirit guides. It might be easier for you to tune into your spirit cat because it's somebody that you can, it's a soul, a personality, right? It's somebody you can tune into because you can call them. You have you can connect to their spirit, to their soul on the other side. It's easier for a lot of people to tune into the spirit cat than it is to tune into their guides who they don't know. They can feel them sometimes. They don't know who to tune into, right? They're kind of these who are these people? I don't know. So how can you call somebody you don't know, right? But it might be easier for you to tune into your spirit cat. So that's the third big thing that they do for us or can do for us. They're offering tune into them, call them, feel, talk to their soul self, talk to them in spirit. It will help you hone your clear senses and your intuition. Okay, and might help you with your meditation. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So Holly asked, do animals have the ability to change species, like change to a dog in the next life or vice versa? Actually, yes, that's coming in the next question now, Holly. Yes, they do. Deb asked, did the cats that don't stick around tell you what they do on the other side and what it's like? Interesting. That's a bigger question, and I will leave that for the next call, Deb. It's a very good question. So today let's focus on the ones, I have so much more information I want to share. So today let's focus on the ones that are still around us, okay? But it's a good question. I will keep that in mind. All right. So move on. Question number 2. Can cats reincarnate as humans or vice versa? A lot of people ask that. So it's going to be a very short answer. A cat soul is a cat soul, and a human soul and a human soul. So do cats reincarnate as humans? No. they don't, or they usually don't, or in most cases they don't. And I asked my spirit team, I said, are there exceptions? And then they said, not that we know of. So there you go. So do cats reincarnate as humans and humans as cats? No. They do, however, this is sometimes they come back as dogs or even as horses. I've worked with cats that were horses in prior lifetimes or the other way around. So usually a cat soul is a cat soul, and a dog soul is a dog soul, and a horse soul is a horse soul, usually. That being said, when they reincarnate with us and for us, yes, they can change species, and they do change species. It's mostly between these three, to be honest, or those are the ones that I work with most. And those three are in a fairly, let's say, similar high level of consciousness. So I'm pretty sure that a cat will not reincarnate as a, let's say, goldfish or as an insect or something. Why? Because, well, it's a completely different species, and because they're on a different level of consciousness. But since cats and dogs and horses have been around us humans and worked with us humans and been of service and of companionship with us humans, these three species are of, let's say, a similar high level of consciousness. So they are crossovers. I've worked with many cats that were dogs in prior lifetimes. Why? They say usually because in that lifetime you couldn't have a cat. I have my cat Leon now, who is with me now. He's a cat soul, and he was with me in my childhood as a dog, as a German Shepherd, big German Shepherd dog. Why? I asked him why he was a dog back then. He said because he couldn't be with me as a cat because my mother had a cat allergy. I said, yeah, of course, yeah, makes sense, right? So in order for him to be with me for 13 years of his life, he had to be a dog because otherwise he couldn't have been with me because I couldn't have a cat in that part of my life. So, and I've had it with many other of my clients. Yes, cats can come as dogs, cats can come as horses, dogs can come as cats. Um, when whatever animal you need or whatever pet companion you need in that stage of your life, that's that's the animal that they can come as. So is the crossover? Yes, mainly between these three. That being said, I've worked with dogs who a dog once showed me he was a wolf in a prior lifetime, but I thought that makes sense, right? And I've seen cats that were bigger cats in other lifetimes or in ancient lifetimes, but mostly a cat is a cat, a dog is a dog, a horse is a horse. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Let's see if there's any questions. And yes, they sometimes have mannerisms. My cat Leon, back then as a dog, he behaved like a cat. And people said, is that really a dog? He behaves like a cat. He licks himself, he grooms himself like a cat, and he jumped the fence and everything, just like a cat. He would jump the fence and go out and go for his walk and come back just like a cat. So many people commented on that back then. I mean, I knew nothing of this stuff. Back then, when I was a child, I knew nothing of all the stuff I'm talking about now. I knew nothing about this, but I remember that everybody in the family said, that dog is really a cat, right? He behaves like a cat. And now, 40 something, 30 years later, I found out, oh my God, he was a cat soul, right? And he's with me now as a cat. So, and he is truly a cat. So, yes, they have mannerisms. Sometimes a dog will behave like a cat or the other way around. He says, somebody says, he acts like a dog. Yep, absolutely. Yes, there are cats that follow you around like a dog. I have had that too. Many of my clients report that their cat follows them around like a dog, and some of them actually are dog souls. Okay, so moving on. Yes, so to conclude this, they say most cases we will usually come back to you as another cat. So a little exception, as in because the original question was, and that's what people ask me, can a cat come reincarnate as a human or a human as a cat? And I said no, or they said no. Usually a human is a human, a cat is a cat. And I want to make a little exception here, or not exception, but kind of expand on this topic. And this should not be the topic of this call today. I have other topics that are more galactic, let's say, in nature, right? When we talk about cosmic origins and cats on cat and star seeds and this whole star seed aspect in us and in the cats, and I'm just going to touch on it briefly here. That is for another call, and I have other calls on star seeds and everything. So there are different feline species out there in the cosmos, in the universe. And this is not channeled from the cats. It just confirms all the stuff, all the work I've done on this subject. They said there are different feline species and other planetary systems, which you could call feline hybrids. Some of them are more cat-like, some are more humanoid. These starseed souls can incarnate here on Earth, either into a human body or in a cat body. And the thing is that if your cat is a starseed, if you're a starseed, this will resonate with you. If not, then, this information might not be for you. But I've worked with so many cats here on Earth that are in a cat body, but when I talk to them on a soul level, they show me there are these highly evolved species, highly evolved soul. They're from Sirius, they're from Lyra, they're from the Pleiades, they're from Orion, they're from all different places. Their soul originated in another star system, and out there is not just cats and humans, there's everything in between. There is cat people, like cat humanoid beings like humans, but they have cat features. Remember the blue beings in Avatar in the movie? That was kind of to open you up to the fact that there are other species, other beings out there that are humanoid, but they're cat-like. Remember the movie Avatar? There are these blue beings and they kind of look like cats, but they're people, right? So there's all kinds of beings out there on other planets. They are cat-like. There's humanoids, humans that are cat-like. There's cats that are very highly evolved, that are like feline hobbits, kind of half human size with cat features. And they always say cats come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. And these souls that are human feline hybrids, they can incarnate here on Earth, and many of them are incarnated here on Earth. And the ones that are more cat-like will incarnate here on Earth in a cat body, and the ones that are more humanoid are incarnate in a human body. So for me, I am actually a Lyran starseed. I'm a feline starseed. I'm actually a humanoid, feline humanoid in a human body here. And that's why I'm this ambassador for everything feline, right? That's why I talk about the divine nature and the galactic nature of our cats and all this, everything they do for us here to bring this awakening to planet Earth. So I didn't even want to talk about it at the length, but the thing is, so do humans reincarnate as cats? No, but there is humans that are very feline in nature and cats are very human in nature, and they incarnate here into a cat body or a human body. So they say usually wherever on the spectrum that soul is, whether the soul is more cat-like or more humanoid, that is how they incarnate here on Earth. And if you have the feeling that your cat is bigger than more than just a cat, if you have the feeling your cat is this really huge soul and this wise being and this, wise beyond their years and wise beyond their small appearance, and they're very emotionally intelligent, very highly, highly advanced, then it is because they're actually a star seed in a cat body. They are much more than a cat. So many of you, with those that resonate with this, if you feel that your cat is more than a cat, then it's one of those feline beings that came here probably from Sirius or from Lyra or from the Pleiades and incarnated in your cat body. And is it a cat? Yes, but it's a very highly evolved cat species. Okay, so this was actually more than what I wanted to share today, but I figured I mention it, and there are a lot of questions in the chat now. Maxine, am I feline type? Yes, you are. Lila asks, so if we love cats, are we likely a feline being elsewhere in the universe? Yes, if you're super, super close with cats, if you're fascinated with cats, if your life revolves around cats, if you're fascinated by all of this, what we're talking about, then yes, you are likely a starseed. You are likely a feline starseed. Otherwise, you would not be drawn to this. So yes, he says they're cat rays that are bipedal and 12 to 14 feet high. They really like coming to Earth. There are feline hybrids here on Earth currently. Yes, I think there's more than 68,000. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so yes, if you see lions, big lions in your dreams, if you dream of cat-like beings, if you felt drawn to the movie Avatar, if the movie Avatar really, really resonated very deeply with you and you felt very touched by these blue beings in Avatar, then you are likely a feline starseed here on Earth, helping humans with the awakening process. So yes, but that is a whole different, I do have a starseed awakening class. I talk about all that stuff, so check out felinesoulacademy.com, go to Starseed Awakening. I've done several calls on that. If you want to take that Starseed Awakening class, I think it's for a super small price. And if you want to be part of that, then check out my Starseed Awakening stuff that I've done. And let's move on now to the more earthly tasks of humans here, of felines here, because yeah, let me get to the chat real quick, but I get carried away with the chat and then I don't move on with my content. Julianne says, I've fostered over 850 cats at my home, so I'm thinking I may have some a feline community out there somewhere. Yes, absolutely, Judy, and absolutely you do have feline roots out there in the cosmos. So everybody who feels touched by this, who wants to know more about this, just go to Feline Soul Academy, not right now after the call, or Google it right now, or go to it right now and check out the class later. It's called Starseed Awakening. Also my other classes, Your Cat, Your Guide. I have, we have a whole module on this topic of the cat people and the feline races out there. So check out my other classes on that. It's called either Your Cat, Your Guide class or or the Starseed Awakening class. All right. So let's move on. Let's come back to the earthly matters here. Question number 3 for the Cat Collective was, how, when, and why do cats come back to us? In a new incarnation, of course. So they said, we come back when the time is right. When you have reached the next stage of your life, when we can be of service again. We come back when you are ready, when we have our new soul contracts in place. They say when a life topic is unresolved for you, we'll make sure to bring that back and clear it up this time. And for those who have worked with me before or followed my other stuff, cats are here in our lives, or part of what cats do for us is they help us with unresolved life topics. They have soul contracts with us, whatever stuff we are, whatever stuff we're still working through, life topics, whatever. Our cats help us with that. They come into our lives to help us with that life topic. And if you want more information on that, go to the 10 cat archetypes and the cat purpose. All right, so they went on to say, but mostly we come back with, so they say when a life topic is unresolved, we'll make sure to bring that back and clear it up with you and for you this time, in the new incarnation. But mostly we come back with a new task or an enhanced task to lift you higher and propel you forward. Went on to say, say we were a lover archetype in our last lifetime. And please, if you don't know what the 10 cat archetypes are, please read up on my 10 cat archetypes. These are the purposes, the tasks that our people, that our cats have with us. So they say if we were a lover archetype in our last lifetime, then we might still bring some of that back in the new incarnation. But we might also come back as an energy worker or a healer, because that is where your focus in this next stage of your life should be. So basically, they help us for a certain part of our life. Let's say somebody, we have a cat that is a lover for us for 10 years of our life, and then that cat passes and moves on. And we go to a next stage of life in between, right? And the cat comes back to us a few years later in a new incarnation, but we are also in a new stage of our life. So we don't need a lover in that stage of our life. Maybe we need a healer cat by our side in that stage of our life. So then that cat will come back as a healer cat because we need him for that new enhanced task that we have in that stage of our life. They will come with a higher task, or with a not higher or better, but they will come back with whatever we need in that stage of our life, right? That makes sense. They say there's always a progress that you made in the meantime while they were on the other side. And that is what we pick up. So they come back into a new incarnation, not where we left off, but to pick up at this new and higher stage that you have reached. Hope that makes sense. So I asked specifically now, why do you come back? Just to clarify that. And they said, because we are bound by the soul contracts we made, the 35-40% of people who will most likely always have pet or cat companions, because that is who they choose to be in this lifetime, to have a close bond with animals or cats. And that is why we keep coming back into your lives or back into your lives. Okay, that is double. Or we keep coming into your lives or back into your lives in the new incarnation. They say, in any case, we return because we have soul agreements with you for the betterment of both of us and for this world. And usually also their tasks with us, if you are not familiar with the cat purpose or the 10 cat archetypes, please read up on that. Cats come to us with a purpose, and their purpose usually has to do with our purpose. So cats come to us to help us with our purpose, and our purpose is usually for the betterment of this world, right? Betterment, and our purpose always helps. It always helps us, it helps other people, it helps other animals, the world, plants, earth, whatever. So they return because they have soul agreements with us, always for the betterment of everyone involved, and the world, of course. So I asked, how do they come back? And they said, in a new body that is similar or sometimes different, but there will always be traits or antics that give us away. Either physical features or stuff that we do, how we act, how we mimic the prior cat. So if you have a new cat in your life that kind of reminds you, not always, but sometimes it always does this one thing, or it always feels, or, it just feels like it's your other cat. It always does this funny thing. It always does this certain behavior. When you just have that feeling, and you just can't shake that feeling that that's your other cat, then that's because it is. If you have that feeling, if you have that strong feeling that that is your prior cat, then it usually is. So the body is similar, not always, but usually there's something that gives them away. They said, so we likely come back in a similar form, or in a form where you can make the connection that it is really us. While our task with you might shift and our appearance might be a bit different, our soul essence remains the same. So again, if you have a strong feeling, even if your prior cat was a white female and now you get a black male cat in your life or something, might be completely different. But if you just feel that you just have the same feeling in your presence, their soul, their essence, their presence feels just like your cat and your earlier cat that passed away. She might look completely different, but if you just feel that same feeling, that same soul, that same essence and core, then most likely it is your prior cat. So likelihood is they look similar or something gives them away, but sometimes it's just the soul essence. It's just a feeling that you have in that cat's presence. And then you know that that is your prior cat. Okay. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick. Laura asks, can a cat in spirit come back to help our present cats help us along our path? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a yes. Tab says, can the new cat be a combo of other cats live together? My cat that passed a year ago had characteristics of two cats I had that they were bonded. Actually, yes, they can sometimes. Sometimes only a part of them comes back. I mean, this just goes away into the soul fragment stuff now, but sometimes only a soul fragment comes back. So part of them comes back in a new incarnation, or sometimes they just take the antics or they sometimes they take a task from a cat that has passed, so it's not the actual cat that comes back, but they're passing on some of their tasks to the other cat. And then all of a sudden your now cat might start to behave in certain instances. Your now cat might start to behave like the other cat, like they become more cuddly, or all of a sudden they hang around you all the time, that they didn't do that before, or they purr all the time, they didn't do that before, and your other cat did. Then sometimes it's because your cat passed on that task to them. It said, you have to hang around your human all the time now. You have to purr for your human. You have to become that healer cat that I was. So sometimes they take on certain tasks, or sometimes they take on certain antics and behaviors. It's not really them, but they task the other cat with, can you please fulfill that part now because my human needs that. So can you please take on that task? Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Hope that answers the question. Okay, so back to the last question I think they had. When do they come back? So we talked about the why and the how, right? Why do they come back? Because they have soul contracts. How do they come back? Similar or different, but there's always something that gives them away. And the last question was, when do they come back? And they said that is for your soul to decide, for our soul, our human soul to decide. Usually when there was some kind of progress, because our passing usually kickstarts you into something new. The more painful, the bigger your jump is to the next level. And I think you can probably all view that lost a cat and it was very painful and it was just a shock to your system. Usually it just does something with us. It kickstarts us into something. It just pushes us. And sometimes the more pain, the more we grow, right? The deeper the pain, the more growth we get through this. So those that lost a cat and it was very painful, usually there's something that comes out of that. And they said on the next slide. So it usually does something with us. It kicks us, somehow it kicks us to the next level. So they said sometimes to the question when, sometimes it's a matter of month and sometimes a matter of years or decades even. So when, usually when the next level has arrived. So we can pick up at a higher level than before. See what we shared before about our change and elevated soul task with you that would bring you to the new life. I mean, they rarely pick up where they're left. They kind of wait until we make that next step, until we move on to a new level, to a higher level, because it's all about growth for us humans, right? So when we are on the next level, that is usually when they come back, and then they bring a higher task with them. Okay. They said, yeah, I said, anything else to share at the end of this? And they said, yes, just say that our passing always makes them move forward. Although they might not consciously choose it, the way this earth works is that you get pushed to move forward. So basically human life, our human life is all about change, it's about movement, it's about growth, it's about creation, it's about creating something, right? And creation means we're always moving forward. So when they pass, it usually pushes us to move forward with something. So they say in closing, there's always a little nugget of gold in our passing. We understand it's hard for you to lose us, and yet it is part of life and the cyclical nature of this universe. Coming into being, new beginning, new cycle, new experiences, new growth, basically. Then passing in metamorphosis and going to the next level and starting the next higher cycle. Usually, the shock to your system around our passing spirals you to the next level. And this really is the closing of the chanting that I want to share with you. And I can confirm that from my own. I lost 3 cats only 2 years ago. It feels like it was yesterday and feels like it was forever at the same time. And it was a shock. I had 3 beloved cats. They passed within a half year from each other. It was a shock to my system, and I just know, and I couldn't believe it, but also I learned so much through it. I grew so much through it, so I can confirm everything that they say here. When the shock wears off, when the mourning wears off, there is always growth. There's a nugget of gold. There's always something you take from it, and I know that at least 2 of the 3 will come back to me. And I know that they're coming soon, but I know that I'm going to be on the next level when they come back. So I hope this makes sense to you. I hope this resonates with you. I'm going to go to the chat real quick, and then we're going to move on to the meditation. It says, Monty's passing pushed me to my path of holistic care for my cats, which led me to here and now. I thank him every day. Absolutely. Yep. Okay, Lila says she has to go. That's where she's asking now. I just met a couple of strays yesterday. What would they like from me? Do they want to stay where they are? They want you to go within and to feel, and you can, if you're already left, then you can hear that in, listen to it in delayed replay, I hope. They want you to feel within. They are there for a reason. They're there to teach you something. So I think you're supposed to work with them. I think you're supposed to Either bring them in or trap and neuter them or do something. They are there to teach you something. So I feel they don't necessarily need to stay where they are. I feel that you should bring them in. Okay, I hope this helps. George says, what a wonderful presentation of what is going to human animals. Well done. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What hope is generated for the much improved new earths formed for the many choices to expand all directions of the unknown, reveal who we are. Thank you. Cheryl says, I lost 2 senior dogs within 6 months of each other. It's have been difficult even after a year. I know, I understand. So Cheryl, and everyone else who lost dogs, everything basically that I say here is true for dogs as well. So you can take that as face value also for dogs. MK says, I had to put my cat to sleep and I was so depressed, but went to the pet store and there was my rescue cat that I was drawn to and has helped me since. Yes, absolutely. She was sent to you by your other cat. All right, so thank you everyone for your comments and for tuning in. Randy says, all the feral cats I feed leading happy lives. Do they need anything? They need safety. The feeding helps, but more safety. Can you provide a safer spot for them? Like, I don't know, a shed where they can sleep in, or a safer place to eat, or a higher up place to eat. Safety is what I'm getting from them. Maybe you can provide more safety for them. I hope this helps. Let's conclude by saying they're never really gone, and their service and love for you transcends truly time and space and dimensions. I'm going to go into a little meditation. I'm going to guide you into it. Then I'm going to give you a few moments where you can call your cats in spirit and ask for their messages. All right, so if you can, close your eyes. Of course, not if you're driving or not if you're out in the streets, but if you can, if you're in a quiet environment, close your eyes, put your feet firmly on the ground, and let's breathe 2 or 3 deep breaths. Breathe out through your mouth, breathe in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And one more, breathe in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And now keep breathing in your own rhythm and your own timing. And now imagine breathing into the earth. Imagine you're breathing through your feet into the earth. In and out, in and out. And every breath that you take, connect to Mother Earth, Gaia, Terra, Tara. Connect to the earth. Feel this deep, deep connection. It's important to connect to Mother Earth, even if you feel your starseed, even if you feel your soul is not from here. Your Mother Earth is your, she always says she's your host mother, like an exchange student. You can trust her, you can breathe, breathe and get your grounding. If you're an earth seed, then you will feel that deep connection to Mother Earth now. Keep breathing into the earth. Feel the connection, feel your grounding. And now that we're connected to Mother Earth, let's breathe up, up, up into the sky, into the universe, into all that is. And connect to God, Source, love, the divine, higher power of your understanding, cosmic consciousness. And you may feel or see it as a light above you. Connect, connect, connect. And now let that light come in through the crown of your head into your body, and let it just flush through your body. Flush out all your chakras, flush out your head, all the thoughts that you have, all the heavy thinking. Let's just flush, 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 and let the light travel further down through your throat chakra to your heart chakra. Let it flood, flush down your arms, open up your hand chakras so you can do what you're here to do on this earth. Let the divine golden light flood, flush further down through your solar plexus, into your lower chakras, your sacral and your root chakra, the base of your spine. And now let the light flood through your legs, your knees, and your feet. Open up your foot chakra so you can find your footing, find your path, walk your path, joy, love, and ease. And now let the light flood into Mother Earth. And now visualize yourself being well connected to above and to below. And now put a hand on your heart and connect to your innermost, to your core, to your center, to your soul self. And now expand that and connect to your higher self. You can lower your hand now. Connect to your higher self, which is a big, big light body around you. And now flood your entire aura with that light, that divine golden light. Feel yourself in a bubble of light. And now call in your spirit guides. And just see or feel or know that your spirit guides around you. So now you're well connected to above and to below, to your innermost and to your higher self and to your guidance. And now take your hands and open up like a virtual screen in front of you. Literally take your hands and open up like an iPad or a computer screen in front of you. And into that screen now call your cat in spirit or your cats in spirit that you want to talk to. And just call him in. And I'll be quiet for a moment and connect to them and feel them. You may feel or see them and ask your question. So just know that you will hear what you hear, see what you see, feel what you feel. If you made a connection, then it's wonderful. If you feel you didn't make a connection, it's okay. Your spirit cat is still with you. You may just feel their essence, even if you didn't hear anything, just feel them and just know they're there. Or you may feel them on your shoulder, on your lap. Know that they're always there and they're saying, thank you for connecting. Thank you for being able to share these messages. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for still holding on to us. Thank you for your service to us when we're alive and now in spirit. We wish for you to know that we don't want we understand there is mourning, we understand there is loss, but we also want you to know that the other side is really not bad. It's really a wonderful place to be. It's a place where all souls go after they pass, after they move on. So it's much the same for you. When humans move on, they go to the same place, and we all kind of mingle here, and now they're putting a lighter tone into it. And there's nothing to fear, there's everything to gain. And we are still looking forward, those of us that are contracted to come back to you, we're looking forward to come back to you sometime soon or in a later stage. And just know it's never about you looking for us, it's always about you finding us. So for those of you that are trying to find out, will their cat come back to them, you probably know it in your heart whether they come back or not. And the thing is always, don't go looking for us, because we will find you. We will put the right circumstances and people and whatever in your way. You will always find us. If we are contracted to come back to you, then we will always find you. So don't go out looking for us. We will come and find you. And that's all we want to share today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Cats in Spirit and the Cat Collective. We love you, we love you, we love you. And we're concluding this by saying, you are wonderful, you are magnificent, you are a beautiful soul. Everyone who hears this now, you are a wonderful, beautiful soul. And just know that you're exactly where you need to be at this moment in time. You're exactly right on your path. And it's an honor for us cats to share our lives and our paths with you. We love you, we love you, we love you, the cats.